How we doing today? It's Friday, and since it's back to Friday, now the Halloween weekend, I got my red shirt back on. And for those of you who don't know, red, R-E-D. Remember, everyone deployed. Always do it in support of the troops. Let me straighten this up just a tad. Yeah, a little better. So David here with you, talking about health and wellness, how to do health and wellness your way. Your way, which means you figure out what works in your life, what works for you, and that way there you're going to get the benefits you want and do it ways you like. A lot of times we get things can be so strict that we work on it and we don't like it, restricts it, it doesn't work for us, and we fight it, and we just end up giving up and stopping. So let's change that paradigm. Let's change it and figure out things that actually work for you and that you can do things. And for me, happens to be working on balancing the triad. I got to make sure and say that slowly, because if I say it too fast, the word gets obliterated. Balancing the triad, which is body, mind, spirit. It took me quite a while to understand that that's what I was doing. I was working on all those three elements, and then looking back, those three elements actually all make the difference. So let's talk about this one here. Have you ever given someone advice or taken about health advice? You talk about it. It doesn't have to be anything very fancy. It doesn't have to be very. It could just be something very simple. You read about it, you heard about it, and you tell people about it, and then you realize you don't take it yourself. I caught myself on this one. It was yesterday before, and I was shaking my head. It's one of those dope moments, and I'm going, "You got to be kidding me!" And it had to do with, in this particular case, I mentioned the idea is if you don't have necessarily 20 minutes to go through do a full meditation, you spend a minute. You spend 5 minutes just doing nice conscientious breaths. Just sit there and just take whatever moment you can because they add on top of each other. Well, I've been doing at least my afternoon meditation most of the time, probably 98% of the time. Morning meditation I haven't necessarily done because I haven't been getting up early enough because things are going on. But I caught myself and going, wait a second, David, I'm going, you're advising people to go through and take 1 to 5 minutes of time, but yet I was forgetting to do that. And I wasn't even aware of it. There would be times I'd go there before breakfast, if I had breakfast, before the coffee, I'd sit there and at least go, sometimes I do 5-minute meditation like I did the other day, just 5 minutes, but I caught myself and go, I wasn't even doing the minute breathing. Now I do certain things throughout the day, because even with my training, part of my cool down has to do with 3 minutes of deep diaphragm breathing. But the idea is, excuse me, I wasn't doing it. I was going through and not even doing anything in the morning. It's like I couldn't sit there knowing to do the 20 minutes, so it completely slipped my mind that I wasn't even thinking about it. And like I said, I caught myself and called myself out. I'm going, oh man. But the tricky part is that I wasn't even aware that I wasn't doing it. So yeah, think back across it. It's an article you read, it's something you've done for yourself, you see in the news, you've seen a video on it, and it's a little health advice. You realize, oh, that sounds like a pretty good, and it comes up in conversation, you recommend it to a friend. And yet, you don't do that yourself. Or like in my case, wasn't even aware that you weren't doing it. So I found it rather amusing to call myself out and goes like, I wasn't even taking that. So it's an awareness, just like when I was recovering from cancer. I couldn't train the way, I've talked about this before, I couldn't train the way I wanted to, which was resistance training, so I ended up doing nothing. But yet, I wasn't focused on the result because I could have stretching, joint mobility work, did more walking, been on the fan bike. There's a variety of things I could have done to continue to get my health back. If I would have been focused on the end goal, which was getting the health back. But instead I was focused on going, okay, I want to get my muscles back, I want to get my strength back, that's what I need to do. And it's the forest for the trees. I looked at this one spot, but yet there's so much more around me that I could have taken care of. Same situation here. It's that I realized I wasn't doing my 20 minutes or plus 10 to 20 minutes of meditation in the morning because the timing, but yet I could have just sat there for a minute or 5 and got my day started off that way. Sometimes we're just not aware of it. So figure out in your life. So if I brought this to attention, you can realize how I stumbled across it myself when I realized I wasn't doing it. But where in your life have you done the same thing? You know the best way to take care of your health, whether it's in body, it's mind, or spirit, or all three. But yet, you're not doing it. Or you've recommended, told someone else about this idea about it, you're not doing it. Just take a pause and realize where in your life have you recommended some ideas or know about it, talked about it, but yet you aren't doing it. Doesn't mean to beat yourself up. I just, like myself, I just found it rather amusing. That's the only thing I could do is laugh and go, oh man, you're kidding me. That's the only thing I could do. So if you want some help on your journey that you can be aware of, I got some free training in my group there to help you get started. That's links in the description. But in general, just kind of let me know your thoughts on that. Have you gone through and had the health and wellness advice where you didn't follow it, but you weren't aware that you weren't following it till something brought up like it did for me? All right, enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday. So take care and balance it. Bye-bye.